guys, I just got back from seeing Star Wars Episode 1 Phantom Menace. I have my nice designer Roy Orbison style 3D glasses on for the occasion. I'm going to do this review a little bit different than I normally do. Instead of pouring over the story, pouring over what sucks about it, what I like about it, because everybody has talked this movie up and down, left and right, every which way. First, I'm going to focus on the 3D of the movie, the reason why it was re-released, tell what I thought was good and bad of that, and then I'll get into a little bit of the movie itself, but I'm still not going to dwell too much on things. So to just start right off, I'll say, as soon as the movie started, the Lucasfilm popped up on the screen, and that looked really good, and then the scroll started, the opening dialogue there, the paragraph telling what's going on. It looked exceptionally well. It looked really, really good. Very good 3D, and it actually did look like, it was really going off into deep space. I thought it looked excellent. It was off to a good start. After that, I kind of lost hope a little bit. I kind of was thinking, oh man, how's this going to go? Because the opening scene was after that, where it pans down and goes into the ship and stuff. It wasn't impressive at all. Like, I couldn't see any 3D to it. I just wasn't impressed, and it made me wonder how the rest of this was going to go. But then, as the ship was coming into Naboo, the ship that Obi-Wan and Qui-Gon is on. The ship actually, it had a really great 3D moment where, it actually did stick out of the screen, and I thought the 3D looked really good there. After that, it looked okay. It's the common thing with this movie throughout is George Lucas wasn't going for things that are going to pop out of the screen at you. I mean, he said that all along. He didn't want to try to go for the gimmicky 3D, add things in that just pop out of the screen. He was going for the depth, and I could definitely see that. And sometimes it was a lot better than others. There were certain times where, it's like, damn, is this 3D at all? I mean, there were times where, honestly, I would lift my glasses up and look at the screen and then put them back on. And when you do that, you can definitely tell a big difference. Like, you can definitely see the depth. But, that's not really a good thing when you have to do that. And, but it is what it is. I thought that the underwater Gungan city looked really cool. I love how the landscapes of Naboo looked. Like, when they would show the big open battlefield and stuff, it had a really nice depth to it and everything that was really, really good. Now, when we got to the pod race scene, I thought that was hands down one of the best scenes of the entire film as far as the 3D goes. It just worked really well because, 3D works good when there's something in the front and something in the back, something you can differentiate the depth of your field of vision on. And there's a lot of that in that scene. I mean, despite it moving fast and moving around a lot, it still works very well. In the one part, it's a quick scene where a wire comes loose or a hose comes loose on Anakin's pod racer, and he pulls out this magnetic wand or whatever it is, and he sticks it out to grab a hold of it. He sticks that out. That really popped out of the screen. It's very quick, but I noticed it and thought that looked really awesome in there. And then the end was really impressive. Like all of the scenes, like I mentioned on Naboo when they show the big vast landscapes, it looked bigger. It looked more grand in 3D, having that depth. That in battle between the Gungans and the people of Naboo against the Trade Federation and the droids. I love that scene anyway, but it really did work in 3D. I thought it worked good for depth. Again, it's just for depth. And then also the subsequent battle that's going on in space, it worked really well in that too. And also the lightsaber battle at the end, Darth Maul against Qui-Gon and Obi-Wan. In this, it's like I always knew things in this looked big before, but I'm guessing it's just from the 3D, or maybe just from seeing it on the big screen again. It just looked huge. It just looked massive. That's one of this film's assets. These sets and these CG environments that they generate in these movies. I mean, George Lucas really does make you believe that you are in this humongously vast space. And I really noticed that, like, when Darth Maul first shows up there at the end and they're getting ready to fight, just some of the scenes in that ship and the hallways and stuff, it just looks humongous, and it really worked in 3D. But my problem with the 3D, it goes back to where I've talked about, having to lift up the glasses and look at it and put it back down. That has been a reoccurring thing that I've noticed whenever I see a movie in 3D in the theater, I'll say. The only exception to that would be Drive Angry 3D, where, throughout that movie you could continuously tell it was in 3D. But other than that, every 3D movie I've seen in the theater, it's almost like your eyes get adjusted to the 3D, and it just doesn't look 3D anymore. And that's a problem. And I think that's why a lot of people don't like 3D. They say it doesn't work, it's no good, it's junk. I mean, you hear, don't worry about the 3D on the movies. But I can tell you one thing, on the home format, I've said this a million times, I'll say it a million more, because I'm a defender of 3D. I stand up for the technology. I think it's great. And the reason why is the home format. If you have a good 3D TV and you have 3D Blu-ray player, I'm telling you, it always works so much better on the home format. One of the prime examples of this was Thor 3D. I wasn't impressed at all in the theater. And again, this is a movie that was converted from 2D to 3D, just like, of course, Phantom Menace was. But on the home format, Thor looks so much better in 3D, like, throughout. Like, I was really impressed. Like, if I'd only seen it on the home format, I would have swore it was shot in 3D. But that's a major problem, and these studios and these filmmakers need to get this stuff figured out if they expect 3D to really continue to work. I don't know what it is. I think it has to do with, the passive glasses that are just like sunglasses, where, a lot of the home television sets use the active glasses that have the battery and stuff. And I know a lot of them's going to this. But the active 3D is all I can speak for at home. I can't speak for the passive, but the active 3D at home, it works excellent. But yeah, I mean, that's just the problem. Like I said, that's the problem with the Phantom Menace, is at certain times where it fools you. Like it's like, damn, is this even 3D at all? Your eyes just get adjusted to it. But overall, I think it did enhance the experience of seeing the movie. It was more immersive, and like I said, it didn't work at all times, but most of the time, it did add a lot of depth to what you were seeing, and especially those big scenes that I mentioned, the main set pieces of the movie, is where it worked best. And I guess that, that's the best they could hope for, is have your star scenes of the film work best, and I felt that they really did. So yeah, guys, don't expect a lot of things to pop out of the screen, really hardly anything. Like, literally, like 2 scenes is all I can think of that I saw anything really pop out. It's mainly for the depth. And I know a lot of people are disappointed in that. I know there's been already people talking about how they expected more with seeing the spaceships pop out of the screen and stuff like that. And I can't disagree with that, but it personally works for me. But like I said, just expect a depth to the screen, more like you're looking through a window into this world instead of that world coming in and invading yours. I mean, that's really what this type of 3D is with this. But the 3D, I'll give a 3D rating. I've seen a lot of 3D movies at home and in a theater. I would give it about a 6 out of 10. It's pretty good. It's a little above average, but it's nothing that's going to blow you away. But for a film that's 13 years old and being converted, it was converted very well, I'll say that. So yeah, I give it a 6. Now, as far as the movie itself goes, you could talk all day about, how the story is bogged down with politics. You can talk about how it's poorly written, poorly acted, Jar Jar Binks, blah, 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 blah. Yeah, there are a lot of negatives you can talk about this movie, but I personally, there's a lot of positives in this movie for me that I really enjoy. And, I was looking forward to watching this in the theater again. I mean, my son, 6 years old, has never seen this in the theater, of course, obviously. And, this is his favorite Star Wars, so he was looking forward to it too. So, we went and checked it out, and, I'll sit here and I'll tell you the things that I like about this movie. I really like the battle droids at the beginning that roll out. I think they're fucking awesome. I think they're cool as shit. I love the Gungan City. I love Qui-Gon Jinn. I love young Obi-Wan Kenobi. I love how the galaxy seems real, like it seems huge, like it's really opened up in this. In the original series, there's a lot of things that are tight. It's not really shown on a vast scale because they didn't have the technology to be able to do it then. Where in this movie and the other two prequels, everything does seem huge. It seems like you really are seeing this alternate galaxy. I love that about these prequels. I really like Darth Maul. Yes, he's an underdeveloped character. Yes, he's kind of just thrown away. He should have lived on to the other sequels. But I like the character still. I love seeing the beginnings of C-3PO, how he's not finished in this film. He doesn't have his outer shell. I love that. The Gungan and the Trade Federation battle at the end, I thought that was excellent. I love that. It's there's not a lot of things that happen in this movie. Yes, there's a lot of drawn-out dialogue that's kind of like, what, but, when it gets to that battle scene at the end, it's just like, oh, man, this is fucking great. I loved it. I love how the droids come out of the machine and it folds down and it's showing layer after layer after layer, and then they set the droids down and they activate them and they all come to life. That's just epic filmmaking to me, and I love that about this film. I love the lightsaber battle at the end. I think that's one of the best of the entire series. Yes, I said it. It's one of the best of the entire series. It's an excellent lightsaber duel. And like I said, it's a shame Darth Maul, they didn't expand on the character. It would have been great to see him in other films and have other lightsaber battles. And another thing, John Williams' Duel of the Fates song, that's showcased there at the end of the movie. I think that song is as epic as anything we've seen in Star Wars. That is just an epic song. It's a memorable song. I remember leading up to Phantom Menace coming out, that video being released and it being shown on TV a lot, and it kind of became like a hit song, which is a classical song. It's a catchy song, and it's classic, it's epic. These are all good things of this film. Like I said, there's too much negativity in the world. There's too much negativity been slung at this film, so I want to tell you, like I said, the things that I like about this. These are all things that I enjoy, that I love, and the thing that really topped this off for me, seeing this in a theater this time, where it was different than the last time. Now, when I saw it in '99, it was the hardcore Star Wars fans going and seeing it, opening day, opening weekend, but throughout, it was an older crowd. Of course there was kids, but when I saw it, it was with an older crowd. It was like people my age and a little bit younger and definitely older. Well, this time, when I went in there, the theater today was 3/4 of the way full, which I thought was awesome for a movie that's being re-released. And half of that crowd at least was little kids, which that's just excellent to me. And that just shows that this movie really is a kid's movie. Yeah, of course the kids, the Trade Federation stuff and all that, that's way over their heads and all that. But in the end, this is a kid's film, and the kids in the theater love this. And it was great to see kids that weren't even born when this movie came out there and experiencing this with their parents. That's what I experienced today, and I was just blown away at how many other people were there doing the same exact thing. I mean, this is things that these kids will remember for their entire life. They'll grow up and remember, oh man, I remember seeing Phantom Menace in the theater. And yes, us that grew up with the original trilogy, and there's a lot of people that just absolutely hate this new trilogy. Well, that shows the good of it, because whether you like it or not, that's something these kids will cherish, and the kids love it. And if it is, in the end of the day, if it is just a kids movie, then so what? So be it. There's nothing wrong with that. It's very easy to pick it apart when you grew up with the original trilogy, and a lot of people get territorial with the stuff, but I don't know. I like the original trilogy. I like Phantom. I like the new trilogy. I like Phantom Menace, and I have no qualms about saying that. But Phantom Menace, I'll give it a 6.5 out of 10. I really enjoyed it. Like I said, seeing it today in 3D, seeing it in the re-release with all these kids, it really gave me a new and different appreciation for the movie, a different perspective to it, definitely. But yeah, guys, check it out. Go out and support it. And apparently he's going to release one of these every year for the next 6 years until they're all out in 3D. So we get Attack of the Clones around this time next year, which is awesome. I can't wait because I think these prequel trilogies, they get better as they go. I like Attack of the Clones a little bit better than this one. And I love Revenge of the Sith. And actually, I'll say it right here also, Revenge of the Sith is my favorite Star Wars movie out of all 6 of them. So, yeah, guys, that's pretty much it. Hope I didn't bore you. I know I've rambled on quite a bit here. But that's it, guys. Thanks for watching. I'm Jason. Have a good one. Later.